It's not working. This is super loud. Yeah, this is not working. Yeah, so the only way I could get that to work would be no. Is that would be should be output sound. That they were the sons of Mars was believed as on a plain proof, either because they were born in the blank of Mars or because they were nursed by a wolf, just under the protection of Mars. Well, my, let's see. My head-held, microphone doesn't work. So, the only way that I could get this thing to work is if I somehow dangle it from this stupid thing over my head, which I might do, depending upon what I end up doing. I'm gonna put my own picture up here, because we got the Inside Out view today. God, this stupid thing is on. Okay. Oh, there we go. Voila. Okay. Oh yeah, I can't see the chat. Oh no, I can see the chat on my phone. Okay. Hello, one and all. My two favorite people in the world are here. I'm gonna come into you early, Switzerland time. We need a crane or something to attach this microphone to. How could I do that to? You know what I could do? I could get a stack of books and then just poise it on top of the stack of books, which would be super cool. Yeah, so I'll have to monitor my chat through. I really did a long session, about 6 hours last night until 4 a.m. It was quite inspiring. This thing is echoing. I keep hoping that the inspiring core of this project will somehow pervade my external environment. I still have faith. I have not watched it. I'm a pretty terrible past video person. Like, I'm so desperate for live stimulation that somehow I just can't pin myself down to do it. What did I do? I found a, I had seen this study. Why are you doing it multiple times? Are you, yeah. Oh my god, no, it's echoing 3 times over. It must be on somewhere. Yeah, it works a lot better having an external screen in order to be doing this. Okay, do I even need this thing on my head? No, I don't. The only reason it's on my head is so I can hear what is I don't like the fact that I'm so dark either. Well, let me get you that study. But yeah, it's like post-truth. The perils of truth decay. There you go. I'll have to like queue up my my former systems for reading, since this screen capture thing isn't as good. Doesn't work with one screen. At least I have incredibly fast internet. Yeah, let me just get rid of that. Okay, I'm gonna have to dig up my other items here. Display capture, no. Window source, window, browser source. No. Text? Maybe it was text. Oh yeah, it's window capture. I think. Yeah, window capture. There we go. Okay, now I have terminal. Here we go. Voila. Oh, but it's like super gigantic. I don't know why that is. Whoa, what is that quote from? Seems rather fitting. Exultations. Whoops. Beautiful. Yeah. A sort of blank once again sprang up. Misery. A sort of priesthood. Oh, I started clipping my my favorite yes, my favorite investigates. I'm drinking a an iced tea. Yeah, let me show you. Okay, now I need to get the Windows source. Oh my god, it's so much fun doing this yesterday. Okay. List good moon, or I blank my loving. It's iced coffee. I don't think I ever answered that question. Okay, now I need a web browsing window. Okay, I'll just stick to one window. Yeah, I think that was his, Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I start saying things that aren't even true. It is iced coffee. I don't know really why I said tea. Yeah, what am I doing? Oh yeah, I should make a separate window, because then I can actually observe it. Oh yeah, okay. Okay, so we'll make that the window. Not forgetting your question there. I think Ezra Pound's Chinese translations are some of the most brilliant thing ever to appear in the English language. And it actually shows me that, I mean, the work itself, the final work itself, certainly is better held to the intrinsic quality of whatever it results, however much that may be accurate to the original. Of course, channeling the accuracy properly is one facet of a brilliant translation. But I have zero lack of respect for his fidelity. And part of that is just because of how priggish and narrow academics are. There we go. Okay. Now. Okay. Now. Oh yeah, because now I see these things overlap and stuff. That's why the window is. I'll make it slightly smaller. I'm saying that it didn't matter because the result was good. Like, basically, academics were incapable of seeing the actual point of the poetry because it requires being a gentleman. And unfortunately, most academics are mere employees. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm kind of transcending the limits of grammar. And I'm not doing it as an exhibition, such as ufaku. Oops. Okay, there we go. Now, it actually would be nice to show more of the environment. And since now I have perfect resolution and perfect frame rates, I presume that even tinier windows will be visible by my companions here. Oh wait, you know what? The chats aren't even appearing. I don't know why that is. Oh, no. Okay, I'm gonna chill down here. Yeah, I like having the thoroughfare. Okay, so what was I doing? I was gonna show something. Oh yeah, the clip. The clip is so funny. Or yeah, I'm so delighted to be able to show this clip, and I finally figured out how clipping actually works. This is one of I had a miraculous guess, and then I don't even know how to describe what the other one was, but I'm very far left. You know, there's a Marxist about to take over the British government. What? Oh my God! What? What? Okay, this is the intro, but. It's not channeling the sound correctly. Okay. I think there's an intrinsic justification for me to actually conduct this at so at least at an unrestrained conversational tone, because I challenge any scholar here to dispute that whatever homework they happen to be working on is more learning than what we're doing here. That's a larger term goal of mine, to not only conduct this as a mere hobby, but challenge others to justify their lack of participation.
But let us understand each other. She who speaks the first her prayer shall certainly receive the other, the same boon redoubled. Imagine how our amiable pair at this blank, all so frank and fair, were mutually troubled.
The perceived right is
Oh my god!
Look at that. Look at that joy. Now, that was a good guess. And that's me basking in the bliss. Yeah. No, you can tell the authenticity of my exclamation. Yeah, we'll show you authenticity in a bit. But now, the other one, check this out. You want to hear authentic surprise? And I call it surprise, which it's of a very particular quality. Watch this.
Oh yeah.
See, look, I got the word correct, and now this is me. This is me guessing the source, and then trying to guess what this was from.
What was it? I have no idea. I'll call questioning.
Hold on. One sec. Okay, I'm gonna make it bigger and read this one, since I'm still interpreting my actual exclamation here, since it's not as straightforward. Okay, where is this thing? Oh, there we go. Now is that? Oh, that is full screen. Okay, I think this will work. Okay, I'm starting over. I want to turn up the sound, dude. Let me do this perfectly. Oh, it's not even a highest. Okay, fine. Let's go. Here we go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
In ancient times, this was called the freeing of the bound.
So hard.
See, I really struggled
What
to guess
was it? I
the
have
classical
no
dictionary.
idea. I'll call questioning. Oh, oh, oh. Zhuangzi. Oh. There are those who cannot free themselves
Listen to
because they
that.
are bound by things, but nothing can
The
be against heaven.
revelation
That's the
that
way
this was
it's always
Zhuangzi. See, I couldn't merely express delight because I had underestimated the quote and presumed that it was a mere definition. I really just need to clip that actual moan.
Oh yeah.
And then I need to discern the distance between the classical dictionary
Hard.
and Zhuangzi, which is the distance between ancient Greece and ancient China.
There are those who cannot free themselves because they are bound by things, but
Right, where is it? It's at
Oh. 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 Oh.
there we go. It's at 33
Questioning.
seconds.
Oh. 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 Oh.
Okay, my thing is not even connecting.
Zhuangzi. Oh.
I may have missed all these chats. Good thing I have it open in another window.
There are those who cannot free themselves because they are bound by things,
Okay,
but
yeah,
nothing can ever win
I like
against
that.
heaven.
Hinno
That's the way it's always
OTTT.
been.
How do I get that? Hinno. Oh, you get that for subscribing to other channels?
Right. Actually, on the in, right in that is on the elevation that is the top.
Okay. Okay, enough retrospectives here. Now I need to earn my keep here. Okay, I'll get rid of this stupid web browsing thing. There we go. I'm gonna make this more opaque. No. Those are just my two examples. Because I believe that a moment has inexhaustible essentiality. So there isn't any difference between reviewing the moment and living anew. And that is not unrelated to the freeing of the bound. Because just think about the nature of the error. Like, I thought it was a definition from like an ancient Greek word. But no, he was explicating a Taoist concept? I don't even know what to call it. So just the move within the mind from the first presumption to the second. How do you describe accurately that distance or quality. Yeah, exactly. Just like those. I want to implicitly challenge everyone within earshot through meaning transfer. Okay, so here we go. 24x. Kata, who by his broad pronunciation threw off all resemblance of the elegant tone of the Greeks, and affected a harsh and rustic utterance, quite blank to that of Catullus, acquired the same reputation of correctness by pursuing a wild and unfrequented path. This is easy. I stake my entire reputation on this. Yes. Oh no. Yes! Look at that. 100%. Kata? Who is Kata? I'm still pondering whether getting proposal correct was even meritorious, since that was actually a translation from a French Hugo poem. And what's the question here? What I've realized is that writing the questions is substantially easier, more creative, and poignant than answering them. And I should only answer questions that I am overwhelmed to answer, or someone else has to answer. Whereas I should not just answer a question because it's been posed. Okay, I don't want to herald this thing out, but I also don't want to burden my dear listeners with anything farther away than this. Because this subliminal bass is, that's funny. Yeah, that's there's your evolutionary opportunity of liberalism. Okay, see. Oh, now I'm running into the challenge of I only have one hand available to type. Getting a book, a stack of books, in order to pinion this mic would be somewhat odd, but valid. So I'm actually gonna go. Well, my friend should actually get here shortly, and then once he's here, then I'll be able to move with greater ease. But since I need to type the question, I think I could get, I mean, it only, okay. I'll be right back. Okay. I don't know if you could see me in my first approach, but what I did was drag over 2 Webster's Third International Dictionaries, each of which is 8 inches thick. Atop that, I stacked the shorter Oxford English Dictionary. And now, my hands are free because my mic is poised after Z. Oh, and I can actually sit back because I brought my wireless keyboard here. I do have to stay a little bit turned, but I can't actually imagine a better geometry under the circumstances. I need to rearrange these windows here. Oh no, that looks good actually. Why does it appear? Oh, there we go. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. Ah, that is awesome. I don't see the whole reason I have this oracle thing is I have no basis on which to decide what is most important. So I leave it to divination. So let's see. Oh yeah. See, I want to grant this correct answer. Oh, see, I haven't yet guessed at what the text was. So who is okay? This has to be an introduction to Catullus. Oh well. So obviously this one should be what wild utterances has Kata spoken? And this is Catullus. Preface. Oh, and I was totally wrong. This was actually Cicero speaking of Catullus. But Sisenna, who had the ambition to think of reforming our phraseology, could not be lashed out of his whimsical and newfangled turns of expression by all the raillery of C. Rusius. That was a quote. What do you refer to? The dialogue? Cool. I love to see scholars who hold the merit of their work. I don't think it can be justified, so it's pleasant to see them grimace. Spitatical, look at that. Have you ever heard of this word? I don't think that's an actual word. So I can actually flare this out and make it closer to me. You can't see that, but... with what I said. I'm not going to waste another moment on a question I'm not driven to answer. So, as to matters blank concerning the oil fields and Israel's energy crisis, see the interview with Mr. Eitan Eisenberg, a government advisor on these matters, Ma'ariv Weekly, 12/12/1978. That was 40 years ago. Digging that up would be super cool. So here we go. Look at this go off on this, like, this goose chase here. So let's see if the Ma'ariv Weekly online. That is definitely the type of thing I could ask a research librarian to find. That would be my ideal, that this oracle just churns out research tasks. This isn't even showing up as a newspaper. Oh, there it is. Ma'ariv. Oh, look. A 1958 weekly publication for teenagers. Ma'ariv Lenoir. Oh, unless it's the Times of Israel. Oh, it's probably this, actually. This looks more like it. Yeah, let me pursue that. What is this? This is Eitan Eisenberg. Okay. Eitan with an A. Yeah. Is it even show? Oh no, it's not even showing the window. Jesus. That's the problem with these stupid windows. Yeah, okay, that's the right one. I had to make the other one distinguishable. And I really need my friend to get here. Okay. Look, I found the source. The Israeli terrorism file, a moral corruption. Alright, I survived. Okay. Yeah, I have to leave that there. Okay. It merely blank the evil. Increased is the meaning I want to convey. Deepened. I wish there were a word that meant made more savory, savoried, savorified. Ooh, spreads. Now this is great. Here. What evil is spreading? What evil? Actually, a more clever question would be, how may we avoid distributing the evil? And then, where is this from? This is a hard guess. Very hard. I'm going to presume this is the 17th century, what's it called? It's this compilation of Protestant tracts. It's called like the Recorder or like the Renovator or something. I'll say the Renovator. The propaganda state is doomed. The mills of God grind slowly, but remorselessly. What is that? Look at that. Oh, you can't see that. That's the problem with good. To handle this situation, I will have to reinstitute a screen capture. Display capture. I already have it here. And I guess I'll make that just cover everything up. Okay. But now will I remember that it's on? Probably not. This is the cancer gnawing at the vitals of the propaganda state. Excision does not help. It merely spreads the evil. This is 1949. Okay, enough of that. I like how one can just remove their consciousness from the external environment at will. Okay, now I can remove this. I think it's slightly less opaque. And I saw blank, the dark, like a fell veil, falling across the faces of the fates. Immediately. Oh. Now, who wrote this? This is so hard. I'll just guess Blake, since it's easy. And what's my question? How tall are the fates. Translated poetry. My home was nowhere other than the saddle. My refuge was none other than the sword. My friendship came from faces of desires, laughing with wishes for lips, without a word. Under a night that, when I thought it over, proved false my hope of dawn, I quickened my pace, trailing a black cloak of the dark behind me, reaching for hope's white bosom to embrace. I ripped the night's shirt open and beheld a dawn-gray wolf there, sneering through the air. Dark shards of sunrise glinted in its mouth. A peering star blazed in its piercing stare. I saw a mountain too, its haughty peak and bunched spine vying with the worlds on high, deflecting every salvo of the wind and shouldering the starlight from the sky, brooding above the dunes like some great thinker, considering days to come as nights go by with black clouds wrapped about it for a turban and bangs of redhead lightning in its face. I have no idea who wrote this. It sounds Arabic. And through the night, that tongueless mountain uttered marvelous things. How much more time and space? How long have I been the assassin's safe house and sheltered hermits from the human race? How many rovers have but passed me by or bid their camels slumber in my shade? How many times have whirlwinds smacked my body while I stood ground against the sea green's blade? Doom reached and took them all. Its ruinous wind ripped each of them from time. As times go by, my throbbing thickets are a gasping chest, and my doves cooing is a mourner's cry. No solace of forgetting stopped my tears. I've wept them out on a life bereaved of friends. How long shall I remain while riders go, bidding farewell as one more friendship ends? How long shall I be shepherd to the stars with lidless eyes that cannot help but see them rise and set and rise as nights burst past right to the last night of eternity? So, Lord, have mercy on thy desperate servant. Lifting a hand of stone, thy mountain kneels, and I heard every lesson in its sermon translated by the tongue of its ordeals. That grueling night made it the greatest friend, whose grief consoled, whose solace grieved till dawn. Wow, it broke. I could leave it mysterious. I think I will. Well, this is easy. So questioning, we blank nothing as something that somehow how other is, as an entity, Zayendis.
conceive. It is supposed by Eustathius that the blank, being infested by gadflies and other noxious insects in the daytime, they drove their sheep afield in the morning, which by their wool were defended from them, and their cattle in the evening, when the insects had withdrawn. Oxen, pastures. Whole pastures can be infected by gadflies. What? Well, this is a footnote explaining some aspect of the Odyssey. Okay, I need now. Does it even list the footnotes? I don't see the footnotes. Look at this beautiful chunk of Odyssey, Book 10. I'd like to be able to play this. Well, that would be really nice, actually. Can I play it without sound? I can, because that's unrelated, I think. Let's see here. I'll just sit here and listen to Book 10 of the Odyssey until someone bothers me. All these glorious lines.
Book X, Argument. Ulysses, in pursuit of his narrative, relates his arrival at the island of Aeolus, his departure. Of the Winds dismisses him at last with much asperity. He next tells of his arrival among the Laestrygonians, by whom his whole fleet, together with their crews, are destroyed, his own ship and crew excepted. Thence he is driven to the island of Circe. By her the half of his people are transformed into swine. Assisted by Mercury, he resists her enchantments himself, and prevails with the goddess to recover them to their former shape. In consequence of Circe's instructions, after having spent a complete year in her palace, he prepares for a voyage to the infernal regions. We came to the Aeolian Isle. There dwells Aeolus, son of Hippotas, beloved, by the immortals, in an isle afloat.
There
A
we go.
brazen wall impregnable
Much
on
more
all
mild.
sides, girds it, and smooth its rocky coast descends. His children, in his own fair palace born, are 12, 6 daughters, and 6 blooming sons. He gave his daughters to his sons to wife. They with their father hold perpetual feast, and with their royal mother, still supplied 10, with dainties numberless. The sounding dome is filled with savory odors all the day, and with their consorts chaste at night they sleep. On stateliest couches with rich arrows spread, their city and
Sounds
their
like a nice
splendid courts
place.
we reached. A month complete he, friendly, at his board, regaled me, and inquiry made minute, of Ilium's fall, of the Achaean fleet, and of our voyage thence. I told him all, but now, desirous to embark again, 20, I asked dismission home, which he approved, and well provided for my prosperous course. He gave me, furnished by a bullock slade, in his 9th year, a bag, every rude blast, which from its bottom turns the deep. That bag, imprisoned held, for him Saturnian Jove, hath office arbiter of all the winds, to rouse their force or calm them, at his will. He gave me them on board my bark, so bound, with silver twine that not a breath escaped. 30, then order gentle Zephyrus to fill, our sails propitious, order vain, Alice. So fatal proved the folly of my friends. 9 days continual, night and day we sailed, and on the 10th my native land appeared. Not far remote my Ithacans I saw, fires kindling on the coast, but me with toil, worn, and with watching, gentle sleep subdued, for constant I had ruled the helm, nor given that charge to any, fearful of delay. 40, then, in close conference combined, my crew, each other thus bespake, he carries home, silver and gold from Aeolus received, offspring of Hippidas, illustrious chief, and thus a mariner the rest harangued, ye gods what city or what land soe'er, Ulysses visits, how is he beloved, by all, and honored many precious spoils, he homeward bears from Troy, but we return, we who the self-same voyage have performed, 50, with empty hands, now also he hath gained, this pledge of friendship from the king of winds, but come, be quick, search we the bag, and learn, what stores of gold and silver it contains. So he, whose mischievous advice prevailed, they loose the bag, forth issued all the winds, and, caught by tempests o'er the billowy waste, weeping they flew,
I
far,
hold
far
the
from
bag.
Ithaca. I then, awaking, in my noble mind, stood doubtful, whether from my vessel's side 60, immersed to perish in the flood, or calm, to endure my sorrows, and content to live. I calm endured them, but around my head, winding my mantle, laid me down below, while adverse blasts bore all my fleet again, to the Aeolian isle. Then grown my people, we disembarked and drew fresh water there, and my companions, at their galleys' sides, all seated, took repast. Short meal we made, when, with an herald and a chosen friend, 70, I sought once more the hall of Aeolus, him banqueting with all his sons we found, and with his spouse, we entering, on the floor, of his wide portal sat, whom they amazed, beheld, and of our coming thus inquired, returned, Ulysses by what adverse pour, repulsed hast thou arrived we sent thee hence, well fitted forth to reach thy native isle, thy palace, or what place soe'er thou wouldst treat. So they, to whom, heartbroken, I replied 80, my worthless crew have wronged me, nor alone, my worthless crew, but sleep ill-timed, as much, yet heal, O friends, my hurt, the poor is yours, so I their favor would, Mirt sat the sons, but thus their father answered, hence, be gone, leave this our isle, thou most obnoxious wretch, of all mankind, I should, myself, transgress, receiving here, and giving conductance, to one detested by the gods as thou, away, for hated by the gods thou come. Street 90, so saying, he sent me from his palace forth, groaning profound, thence, therefore, o'er the deep, we still proceeded sorrowful, our force, exhausting ceaseless at the toilsome oar, and, through our own imprudence, hopeless now, of other furtherance to our native isle, 6 days we navigated, day and night, the briny flood, and on the 7th reached, the city erst by Lamus built sublime, proudly Strigonia, with the distant gates 100, the herdsman, there, driving his cattle home, 38, summons the shepherd with his flocks abroad, the sleepless there might double wages earn, attending, now, the herds, now, tending sheep, for the night pastures, and the pastures grazed, by day, close border, both, the city walls, to that illustrious port we came, by rocks, uninterrupted flanked on either side, of towering height, while prominent the shores, and bold, converging at the haven's mouth 110. Leave narrow pass. We pushed our galleys in, then moored them side by side, for never search. There lifts its head, or great or small, but clear, we found, and motionless, the sheltered flood, myself alone, staying my bark without, secured her well with hawsers to a rock, at the land's point, then climbed the rugged steep, and spying stood the country. Labors none, of men or oxen in the land appeared, nor aught beside saw we, but from the earth 120, smoke rising. Therefore of my friends I sent, before me two, adding an herald third, to learn what race of men the country fed. Departing, they an even track pursued, made by the wagons bringing timber down, from the high mountains to the town below. Before the town of urging bearing forth, her EWR they met, daughter of him who ruled, the Laestrygonian race, Antiphatis, descending from the gate. She sought the fount 130, Artatia, for their custom was to draw from that pure fountain for the city's use. Approaching they accosted her, and asked, what king reigned there, and over whom he reigned. She gave them soon to know where stood sublime, the palace of her sire. No sooner they, the palace entered, than within they found, in size resembling an huge mountain top, a woman, whom they shuddered to behold. She forth from council summoned quick her spouse 140, Antiphatis, who teeming came with thoughts of carnage, and, arriving, seized at once a Grecian, whom, next moment, he devoured. With headlong terror the surviving two fled to the ships, then sent Antiphatis, his voice through all the town, and on all sides, hearing the cry, the Laestrygonians flocked, numberless, and in size resembling more, the giants than mankind. They from the rocks, cast down into our fleet enormous stones, 150, a strong man's burthen each. Dire din arose, of shattered galleys and of dying men, whom speared like fishes to their home they bore, a loathsome prey, while them within the port, they slaughtered. I, the falchion at my side, drawn forth, cut loose the hawser of my ship, and all my crew enjoined with bosoms laid, prone on their oars, to fly the threatened woe. They, dreading instant death tugged me supine, together, and the galley from beneath 160, those beetling, 39, rocks into the open sea, shot gladly, but the rest all perished there. Proceeding thence, we sighed, and roamed the waves, glad that we lived, but sorrowing for the slain. We came to the Aeaean Isle, there dwelt, the awful Circe, goddess umber-haired, deep skilled in magic song, sister by birth, of the all-wise Aeaetes, them the sun, bright luminary of the world, begot, on Perse, daughter of Oceanus 170, our vessel there, noiseless, we pushed to land, within a spacious haven, thither led, by some celestial pour, we disembarked, and on the coast 2 days and nights entire, extended lay, worn with long toil, and each, the victim of his heart-devouring woes. Then, with my spear and with my falchion armed, I left the ship to climb with hasty steps, an airy height, thence, hoping to espy some works of man, or hear, perchance, a voice 180, exalted on a rough rock's craggy point. I stood, and on the distant plain, beheld, smoke which from Circe's palace through the gloom of trees and thickets rose. That smoke discerned, I pondered next if thither I should haste, seeking intelligence. Long time I mused, but chose at last, as my discreter course, to seek the sea beach in my bark again, and, when my crew had eaten, to dispatch, before me, others, who should first inquire 190, but, ere I yet had reached my gallant bark, some god with pity viewing me alone, in that untrodden solitude, sent forth an antlered stag, full-sized, into my path, his woodland pastures left. He sought the stream, for he was thirsty, and already parched, by the sun's heat, him issuing from his haunt, sheer through the back beneath his middle spine, I wounded, and the lance sprang forth beyond. Moaning he fell, and in the dust expired 200. Then, treading on his breathless trunk, I plucked my weapon forth, which leaving there reclined, I tore away the osiers with my hands, and fallows green, and to a fathom's length, twisting the gathered twigs into a band, bound fast the feet of my enormous prey, and, flinging him athwart my neck, repaired, toward my sable bark, dropped on my lance, which now to carry shouldered as before, surpassed my poor. So bulky was the load 210, arriving at the ship, there I let fall my burthen, and with pleasant speech and kind, man after man addressing, cheered my crew. My friends, we suffer much, but shall not see the shades, ere yet our destined hour arrive. Behold a feast, and we have wine on board, pine not with needless salmon, rise and eat. I spake, they readily obeyed, and each, issuing at my word abroad, beside the galley stood, admiring, as he lay, 220, the stag.
Well,
For of no common bulk was he. At length, their eyes gratified to the full,
yeah, I'm not
with that glad
particularly
spectacle, they laid their hands, and
chasing
preparation
down
made
any
of noble cheer, that day complete,
particular
till set of sun,
topic
we
or
spend,
text.
feasting deliciously without restraint, and quaffing generous wine. But when the sun went down, and
Okay, now that
darkness
someone's back, I'll
overshadowed
turn
all,
off this
extended
robot. Quaff. Okay. Oh, I'm glad you like it, my fan. Yeah, this is the glorious intellectual future. I'm so happy with this pose I have. Can't really see it, but I am resting my elbow upon the Oxford English Dictionary in order to sidle up to my microphone. It is. It is. Although actually quite diverse, despite being so fluorescent. I breathe incest and deceit. Twins. Blank. A flower for anyone who can get this one. I'm gonna guess tween. I like how it sounds, but I'm pretty sure it's wrong. And where is this from? Who would say such a thing? I'll say Baudelaire. I'm feeling pretty confident about Baudelaire. Do I have another mic on? Is this why it's... I do. Oh, that might clear it up, actually. Oh, wow. Now that is better. I'm sorry I've inflicted that noise upon you. Can anyone else muster a rational guess here? This is very challenging. Oh, that sounds glorious. I can even turn off this gain. Oh, it is off. Okay. Okay. Well, twain it be. Oh, I got the meaning right. Okay, and I said it was Baudelaire. How do you pose a question about this? Where do you breathe this air? Oh, Racine. My murderous hands, eager for vengeance, burn to plunge in the blood of innocence. Unhappy, and I live and endure the sight of that sacred son from whom I take my life. I have for ancestor the gods, king and father, the sky, the universe is filled with my ancestors. Where can I hide myself? Flee to infernal night. What am I saying? My father there holds tight to the fatal urn. Destiny placed it in his hands. Minos, in hell, judges the ghosts of these humans. Ah! How his shade will tremble, horrified, when he sees his daughter present before his eyes, forced to confess to so many diverse sins, crimes perhaps unknown, even in those realms. What will you say, Father, to that terrible sight? I see the dread urn drop from your hands outright. I see you searching for some new punishment, doomed yourself to be your own child's torment. Forgive me. A cruel god destroys your race. Oh no! I better go get more coffee. Okay. Where is Phaedra? Okay, I'm not going to bother answering that question. I'm just going to the next one. This one looks rather Victorian. Be right back. Oh, it's too late. It's closed. It is said that Mr. Barrett was a man of intellect and culture, and therefore able to direct his daughter's education. But be that so or not, he obtained for her the tutorial assistance of the well-known Greek scholar Hugh Stuart Boyd, who was also a writer of fluent verse, and his influence and instruction blank confirmed Miss Barrett in her poetical aspirations. This is a preface to a female poet, Barrett, I'm pretty sure. Uh-oh. I wonder what that does to the stream. Firmly. Doubtless. Elizabeth Browning. Mr. Boyd, early deprived of sight from overstudy, cared for little else than Greek literature, especially that of the fathers. His daily habit was to sit for hours before a table, treating it as a piano with his fingers and reciting Greek, his memory for which was such that, on a folio column of his favorite St. Gregory being read to him, he would repeat it without missing a syllable. I think I have St. Gregory in here. And if I don't, we should go dive into St. Gregory. Look at that. St. Gregory the Great. Interesting. Oh, I had it. Oh. I can find some St. Gregory the Great. Let's see. Oh, so that all goes on the background. But I can... invite you. Pope Gregory, 590. Gregorius. I like his look. There he is with his own book. The Dialogist. Complete translation of Gregory's Moralia in Job. Now that is worthy of the oracle. Oh, there it is. Well, here it is in PDF EPUB. I think I can convert either of those, but let's get this. I'm so excited. Now I have St. Gregory, and just like Ms. Barrett and her father, I can learn it. Wow. Okay. 1,135 pages. Wow. Okay. Wow. That is all a commentary on Job. I disbelieve. Let us see. Behold, it appears to be 1,100 pages long. Look at this commentary. This is a detailed commentary on Job by a 6th century pope. This takes more than a minute to scroll. Cannot wait for our exploration of this, which will now begin. That's my topic, Saint Gregory. There are more people in the vicinity who would appreciate what I do than online in the random sampling of the Twitch population. Alas, the monastic discipline is tight. What the? Here we go. First sentence. For what is styled the earth but the sinner, to whom it was said by the first blank, Earth thou art, and unto earth shalt thou return. Apostle? Sentence. Oh, this is a very detailed commentary. Not much you can ask about that. What dry exegesis. So the light of the Lord as countenance does not fall to the earth, because the brightness of his vision does not appear to sinners. Thus it is written, let the ungodly man be removed away, that he see not the glory of God. For light would, as it were, fall upon the earth, and if, when he comes in the last judgment, he manifested the brightness of his majesty to sinners. But if we receive these words in the voice of the Holy Church, we may not unsuitably understand that the light of her countenance does not fall upon the earth, because to them that are busied in earthly courses she forbids to preach the highest mysteries of her contemplation. Oh, after this I'm going to go to the pub and broadcast from there. That will be interesting. This is really beautiful. For what is strong she forbids to be spoken to the weak, lest while they hear things incapable of being comprehended, they be borne to the ground by the words of preaching by which they should have been lifted up. For the mere corporeal light which illumines sound eyes darkens weak ones, and whilst by weak seeing eyes the gaze is set on the brightness of the sun, there is very frequently darkness produced to them from light. Thus let Holy Church, being borne down in the time of her persecution, but bearing in mind her foregoing discrimination, say, the light of my countenance did not fall upon the earth. So that's St. Gregory. I get the gist. Nunc audax cave sis, blank nostras oramus cave despoas ocelle, ne poenens nemesis reposcata te, est vehemens dea lacidere hanc caveto. There are likely 5 Latin speakers within earshot. Perhaps I called to them and didn't know it. Precesque. If only someone would have called out precesque before I even got to blank. What's Catullus? That would have been easy. I was walking alone in the garden one evening, about a blank afterwards. Weak. Ooh. What happened in the garden? Oh, darn. I would have liked to find that out. Okay, I will find it out. Zinamas son of Vedi, son of Mosbe, lo sededi. There's actually a performance tonight at 8 o'clock. Should I go to that? I should go to that. Oh, Agnes, oh my soul. All these garden scenes. Here we go. I remember that evening well. It was the second in Mr. Micawber's week of suspense. There had been rain all day, and there was a damp feeling in the air. The leaves were thick upon the trees and heavy with wet, but the rain had ceased, though the sky was still dark, and the hopeful birds were singing cheerfully. As I walked to and fro in the garden and the twilight began to close around me, their little voices were hushed, and that peculiar silence which belongs to such an evening in the country, when the lightest trees are quite still, save for the occasional droppings from their boughs, prevailed. I have tidings for him. Glenn and I den me. Oh yeah, I could just keep it like this. Yeah, I guess because I can, yeah. Oh, but then it's not transparent. That is easier. Let me try that. I don't think my chat is showing up. Not that anyone's talking. I Dan wish me to get with him to see the pasture field, you know. Come now, my dear Pepita. That's what you mean, you advertising spade. Cerneno Selin Digitana. This has to be Ezra Pound. So distinctive. Even boring. State trials. Oh, Western martyrology. I could get some food. They make such racket. Got it. What causes the noise? Oh, interesting. Khalil Gibran. Is that not the right Khalil Gibran? That's weird. Oh, it was noise. I said racket. It always picks the last words. Set a blade of grass to an autumn leaf. You make such a noise falling. You scatter all my winter dreams. Said the leaf indignant, low-born and low-dwelling, songless, peevish thing. You live not in the upper air, and you cannot tell the sound of singing. Then the autumn leaf lay down upon the earth and slept. And when spring came, she waked again, and she was a blade of grass. And when it was autumn, and her winter sleep was upon her, and above her, through all the air, the leaves were falling, she muttered to herself, "Oh, these autumn leaves, they make such noise. They scatter all my winter dreams." It's a fitting essay. Was heißt denken? I actually brought that book along. Uni, das ist wie Kino.